New way to do it. Hey, everybody, going to be back in 30 seconds. Here we go. Now, come on, Rich. You have to admit that's like a freaking movie theater.
Tell you what, man, that's very impressive. I'm ready to go to the gym after this.
I'll tell you, man. If that don't freaking pump you up, and whew, that's cinema.
Man.
Put some surround sound on there. Hey, everybody, welcome back. Richard always does. Let me just put it this way: when Richard doesn't know the subject, maybe he's better off.
Yeah, I can't prepare, man. It's just like I'm winging an SAT here, right?
You are, because you don't know what the subject. And I wanted to talk tonight, Rich, to you about what I've noticed. Peak season. Listen, it's coming. It's actually arrived. Peak season.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the 21st. A lot of the companies are getting ready right now. You figure for October, mid-October, where it's going to start.
Oh yeah.
You know. Oh, look, we got everybody back now. Hello, guys.
Yeah. You mean Steve-O? It's the ramp up time.
And Janie, totally. So, but what I wanted to talk about, what I saw today with Peak, is I was looking at all the jobs, but what stood out was there was two companies I'd never heard of for in Brenningsville. And I'm trying to find their names, Googling it, and I'm not getting as much information on. And I'm curious is sometimes you don't know if it's a different company or the same one.
You can't find the company at all, the name?
No, I Googled it. I mean, it's so plain. I don't want to say the name, and I'm going to send it to you, and I'll send it to Steve and everybody. It's so plain that I don't know where they're from. It doesn't say what state. It doesn't say anything but Brenningsville. I'm not going to give it out.
Cut and paste that job description. Cut and paste a little bit of job description and Google it. And usually 9 out of 10 times you'll find out who the company is.
Yeah, who the company is. Because I know the name. I know the name of it, but I don't know who. They're not a big company, because I would have known the name in here. But I think my point was there is I really want to have some of the companies right now in the Lehigh Valley is be aware that there's other companies coming in. Oh
yeah, of course. There's always competition, man.
They are, but they're either remote. I have a feeling a lot of them are remote, virtual.
The virtual world is here.
I can't even get angry with this guy. I had so much I wanted to say, and you.
Come on. I want you to vent. You're cutting into my Monday Night Football time. It's okay.
All right. But another thing I wanted to talk about was the amount of jobs again for peak season. I saw one today for 125, one for 200 something, and one's going to need 1,000. 1,000. That's just one. In Easton, Pennsylvania, they're going to need 1,000. No, it's not the one. It's not the one I know of. I know this one too, but I always say where? What are they going to do a difference? So then I looked. Some of them are already up to $18.90 an hour already. They're going to go up to $18.90.
Exactly. Well, that's good. I mean, that's good pay. But where are you going to find the people at? That's the question we have to know. I mean, right now, there's a lot going on, right? I mean, people are still getting benefits. People are still, riding out their unemployment till December 26th, right? I mean, we have to face the facts on it. That's going to hurt a lot of the industry.
Yeah, but what makes you mad? Well, me. When I look at low retention, the retention rate's going to really tumble. They are not going to hold on to employees. I'm going to tell you why. Secondly, if you're not anybody that's in the logistics right now or in corporate branches, you're going to work 6 days a week, 7 days. Your life's over. That's done.
And that's not going to happen.
Weekends, you're going to work. Get used to it. 10-hour days. If you're in HR, you might as well have 4 more of that. It's going to be people are going to be working a lot of hours. You're going to get people. You're going to walk up to the time clock. Oh, you can't leave. You can't leave because you're going to go ahead and you have to stay working. Now, Steve, here you have to pay 17 or more to get people to work to change, and it'll be 19. He's correct. See, and he's in Utah. I got that right. But
Dave, real quick, money's great, but 85% of the people I talk to, work-life balance. You give them 25 bucks an hour and you work them 7 days a week. They're like, you give me 16 and let me work 4 days a week. They'll jump on that all day. I mean, I hate to say it, but that's what we're at now. We are actually, the United States is almost like Europe is. They want to work, 4 days and have 3 off. That's the attitude that we have with people around here now. I mean, you've seen it. You give them more money, they don't want to work. You can give them 50 bucks an hour. Will they work it?
No, because
they work-life balance because they have family and kids to take care of. So I see where they're coming from.
It is because you're going to work every holiday. You might as well, even though, hey, Halloween's a holiday to me, but Halloween, Thanksgiving, day before Thanksgiving, you're going to work. Christmas Eve, you're going to work. And I guarantee this year, there's a lot of the companies that will be working Christmas Day and New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Because of what you said, it's like the money. When does it stop? Is it going to go? Because sometimes Amazon, I love them to death, but once you get up to 19, they're going to go to 25. Smart move.
Thanks. And you see Steve just commented there. He probably sees it on his side of the country too, that it's, you could dangle all the money you want. You can give bonuses and stuff, but it comes down to the core value of, that work-life balance right now. And we have to face that. I mean, and I think companies need to see that. Staffing firms, we see this. As recruiters, job agents, or staffing firms, we see this. But does the company see that? No, they don't.
Richard, they're giving $1,000. Oh, breathe.
Go ahead.
$1,000 for a retention bonus if you stay for 7 or 10 weeks. It was $1,000. Then $100 a week bonus, perfect attendance. Imagine that. You get to go to friggin' work and you get paid for it, and you get $100 extra if you go to work every day.
My question is, who's going to watch the kids when they're home? If they're being homebound for school, who's going to be home with them? A lot of factors come into play here, right?
But what are you going to do when you think of that $1,000? $1,000. Now times that by, let's just say they need 200 people. Scenario.
Okay.
So when you look at reaching out to companies and they say, no, we don't need your help, assistance. Okay. I swear, if that was a phone, sometimes I want to jump right through that thing. What do you mean you don't need assistance? Oh, we're fine. Really? I'm sorry I'm venting about it, but when you see all these jobs, it frustrates me because you try to help. You want to help. But you don't want to work together either.
Yes. But there's always a solution in the end, Dave. Frustration is we gotta get away from frustration, right? It's just like playing football. Cool, calm, and collect, right? That's what we gotta be like. You can't be frustrated for something that you can't control, right? But you know what? Sooner or later, these companies will see the light. They're gonna have to, because when they don't get production, I mean, I think some of the ways we need to solve this is it needs to be flexible schedules. I mean, I hate to say they got if I know UPS and FedEx at times did back in the day, they did 5 hours and then you were off, and then you did 5 more. You did a morning shift, afternoon, or night, because then you could go see your kids, pick them up. Somebody else could take them home. It works out. But being 12 hours at one place is not going to happen right now. And some people only have one car. So what happens then if you're working in 2 different directions,
And see, I think why I say but you really want to help both sides, because I really do. Everybody knows myself, peak season, I don't sleep. I might not sleep now, but peak season to me was always, I love peak season. I really do. The thrill of finding 500, 600, 700. It's a good thrill. I mean, I've calmed down a little bit, but at the same time, They just leave from there. They go right across the street for an extra $1. From there, they go to the other staffing company right over there. They all end up most of the time with all in the same area.
And why do they do it, Dave? Tell me why they do that.
Well, there's two. I'm going to say, honestly, because I've listened to it all the time. First of all, is say $1 or $2. That could be a difference. The second one is that shift. That shift is the most powerful one because there's a couple of them out here. Listen, when you're talking about 4 a.m, or I don't know, they're just weird shifts. 6:30 to finish. 6:30 to finish. What the hell is that? Honey, I'll be home. When? I don't know.
Well, here's the situation with this. And I've had this happen to me before where they go to FedEx, UPS, and they bounce to the postal service. The grass is always greener on the other side. So here's what they do. They get frustrated. I'll go for the same amount, less money or more money, just to have a new start. And then they go there for a little bit. It's the same old thing. I'm going to do a new start. So you see what's happening. All these people in these positions are just trying a new start. And the new start's the same situation. It's the same old situation over and over again. And by that time, peak season's over with, and they've been at 4 different companies, right? Because all companies are going to hire everybody. They're not going to turn anybody away if you get experience, right?
But what do you feel sometimes, and it's in the same area here, when you have Amazon, which everybody has Amazon, they're going to be calling, you'll start soon, the radio ads, watch. The radio ads will start in another week, paying 15 up to 25. They'll start saying like that. We always went off of Amazon. Some of the companies would say like, well, what's Amazon paying? That's not always the answer because a lot of people don't want to work at certain companies. Hey, I like Amazon. I like Amazon Prime. But how do you convince your employee? How do you convince them to stay? Like, how do you keep them there? What do you do?
Well, you got to coach them. Like we talk about this all the time. All my candidates call me once a week to check in. You know, I'm a coach where, hey, you know what? If you don't show up for work, there's only one person who's looking like an A. That's me, you know, and you. So I always say that all the time. But I think something that we can resolve this situation with is the second chance program, which I'm starting up. I think that a lot of these companies need to tap into that, the second chance program. And then with these second chance programs, these halfway houses and stuff, they will bust you there. So they're going to get 12 to 15 people at a pop inch and get there and they pick them back up. So, and then you have accountability with counselors. You have the staffing firm involved. You have so many people making them successful. You can get so many people in a second chance program. I'm telling you, this is a way they need to go into. So sometimes I'm thinking some of their standards in, you know, the background checks, got to drop that down a little bit. Of course, if it's not theft or a couple of the other ones, you know, we won't talk about. I mean, I think they should give everybody a shot, you know? Yeah,
I've seen that. And I've seen Steve's company. I've seen a lot of companies. The way they word it, I wish they worded it a little differently. No background check required. It's like, okay, like just word it differently, maybe. You know, you don't have to say like that, but I know they have 5 years, 7 year, 10 years. We all would do that. But like you said, there's different phases, what they could look at. And I know a lot of great people that you're right, that could go to work, but because of something that happened 5 years ago, that was something stupid. And now we can't hire them on.
Well, I'm just going to say this. When it says no background check, I have candidates that actually maybe have a past, won't even go to that job because they're like, there's a catch. That's not a good thing to put in your thing, no background check. And that means it's just like you'll take anybody. And the job seeker's thinking, I want to be somebody, not anybody, right? It's a mindset. And companies should never put no background check. They should put in there, you know what, something about experience and, you know, we're going to check your background. Or if we don't, I don't even put that in there. Just say, you know what, we just base everything on experience. There you go, right?
And that's it. That's what I mean, because you know me, it's just frustrating because you try to help. I had some great candidates today submitted, and 2 of them were turned down. And why? Because you want to be, because I care. I believe that's why, and you're the same way. And I think everybody out there too is you want your candidate to get hired.
Of course you do, because you represent that person. They're part of your team. So it's like when they don't get hired, you feel like you fumbled the ball or you lost the ball. That's what it feels like. Yeah. Of course. I feel like that all the the time. But you got to understand that. What do I say all the time? They never had the job in the first place, Dave. They never got the offer, so you move on. I mean, when you throw a resume out there, it's like you're snapping your finger. It's a 50-50 coin toss. You're going to get it or not, you know?
Yeah, and then you don't know who.
You have to think that way too. And I realize over the years, you know, you submit 10 people, you're thinking, well, tomorrow I'm going to have 9 submittals and 9 people's going to start. No, you get 2 or 3. Hey, you're having a great day, right? And then you advance on from there. I think that's the mindset we all have to think. So the frustration part, Dave, relax tonight, relax. It's okay.
No, I love peak season, man, because
I know you do.
I know we're gonna wrap this up, but the money is nice, but everyone has a life, and that's back to Richard.
So Bob. Yep.
That could be a lot of the secret. Flexibility, because let's face it, if someone gets COVID out of school, you don't know. I didn't even know my son was one day he's off during the week. I didn't even know it. What are you doing home? I didn't know that they were doing virtual. What do parents do for that? That's the big thing. Somebody's got to either take off or try to find something. But when you're in your peak season, you know they make it mandatory. It's like, oh no, it's mandatory. You go home, you leave. They leave.
And then they fire them the next day. Here's something
else. Fired.
Transportation. We're starting that around my hometown now too, where companies are actually coming in now and saying, we're going to supply 10 vans to pick people up in areas that don't have transportation. Because there's a lot of people that will work that don't have a car.
I've seen one company.
Yeah. Rent 6 vans. You could put 10 on a van. That's 60 people going out to work. There's half your problem right there. You're supplying them transportation to go to work. You'll have so many people on that van. I'm telling you.
I wish I had the answer to some of it, but like you said, it's just some things are out of your control.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing you can do, but when you want to help, you know, I think that's what takes it on there. So we'll wrap it up here. But like you said, they're going to have to look at family time, some work-life balance. Point systems are great, but I don't want to sit there and say you don't want to just, give the guy a break or the candidate a break, because you can't do that. If they're late, they're late. There's a lot of things thrown in there, but I just think there's a little flexibility that somehow somebody can make. Listen, you're all managers. We're all managers to come up with something different besides another $1 or $2 an hour.
And I think it's shorter shifts. You got to have it flexible shifts. And I think another big one is, there it is right there. Flexible, boy, right out of my mind. And then something
that's
else.
Mr. Clark Kent. No, that's Clark Kent.
Yeah, Superman in the house.
Superman. We already got Steve. We got your name already. I told him. And ladies and gentlemen, this is Superman, Stephen Farrell.
Hey, Steve, we should do a show. Superman and the Shark, right?
Superman. The SS's, 2 SS's. So thank you, Jenny. But we'll let you go. But you know what, Rich? You are right about that. And the shorter shifts, I wonder how that would work. But if you're paying them the same amount, if you raise your rate up, you're still getting the same amount of money, and you'll probably get better.
Something else that companies have to figure into it, and I know out here sometimes they won't hire relatives and they won't hire husband and wife or boyfriend, girlfriend. That has to stop, because then you got 2 people. Just put them on different sides of the building is what you do. You separate them. We've done that in the past, and it works out great. But there's a lot of companies that say, nope, just one or the other. Well, if both of them are available for work, why wouldn't you take them?
I know. And I've had that, because here's the excuse. They'll sit there and say, well, they don't want to drive together because if one calls off and the other one doesn't go. Listen, in this world, you're going to have that. So if one person doesn't drive, there's another.
What are they saying right now? Negativity. They're already saying, well, they're going to call off. Let's think positive, right? They're thinking already, if you talk to all these companies, they already got all the negative things why they're not going to get that goal. Why would you even bring that stuff up? Let's think positive and let's put stuff into mindset. It's all about a positive vibe and a positive mindset. You know that, Dave. I mean, seriously, in life. As much as, I keep preaching this all the time, if we can get to the companies where they can think straight, we'd rock it out.
Because a lot of I say it's not the management's level at the facility. It's the next level up, because the people, the HR, the supply managers, they all know. They know the answer.
You're right.
Your team knows why you're struggling. You've been in meetings. I've been in them. That supervisor, he wants to say the truth and he can't. You know, he's not allowed to because he'll get in trouble or something, raise a little thing. But they know the answer, but they can't make the change for some reason.
And one big thing, I'm sure they do it with you. What we've done when we have mass people like 100, 150, we have somebody on site. We call an on-site recruiter. They're on site the whole time. But I know a couple companies, I'm not going to mention their name, 10 staffing firms, Dave, they need 120 people. 10 staffing firms. Can you imagine what that, you got 10 on sites, and then they're complaining because, and this is another issue too, well, one company's paying more than the other. And I said, it can't be that way. You can't, one staffing firm gives a quarter more so they can try to take the workers over from another one, which is, you can't do that. They call that staff tipping. You can't really do that, try to.
Staff tipping? That's pretty cool. I never heard because.
Yeah, it's happened to me before.
No, because when I went to a company in Alberta, so I'm not going to say their name, they need 70-some people. They got 6, 7 staffing agencies for that amount. Okay. But then I said, wait a minute, you can pay 11, 12, 10.50. What do you mean? He goes, yeah, that's not right. They shouldn't be able to do that. I'm like, hell no, because they just come right back around the circle.
Well, here's what it comes down to. If they are, and I set this down where if they work for me, they can't go to another company at that company. You know what I mean? They can't go to another staffing firm and say, I want that extra quarter. You're stuck in. But what happens then is if somebody gives another quarter, they're just going to quit because they're upset that we don't pay them that quarter, So I think in the end to solve that, everybody should be paid the same.
I've never
same profit. Everybody
I've learned something nice. Staff tip. What was that again? Staff tipping what?
Staff tipping. Yeah, that's yeah. I'll tell you what, it's happens a lot. I'll give you an extra buck. If you come over to my side.
All right. Well, we're gonna wrap this up. Janie, we need you both in Australia. Hey, if you get Richard to get a little van, we can put that Sharkmobile and send you over there. We can drive you over.
Someday I'll be going across the country mobile again, so that'll be fun. But yeah, Dave, hopefully this calmed you down a little bit. We got some all right. We got some leverage here.
All right. Well, I'm ready to go. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. Steve, everybody. I'm sorry, Clark Kent. Superman. Right here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Superman. He's going to strangle me for that. So, everybody have a great night. And as Richard says, say it, Richard, your favorite saying at the end.
All right. Remember, let's have a good night. It's Monday Night Football, so watch some football, but love yourself so you can love other people. And if you're looking for a job and you don't have one now, look in the mirror and say, I got this. Let's think positive, guys.
All right. Tomorrow. All right. Night, everybody. I don't even know who's playing football.